more than a century before the Seven Oaks Dam towered high above the Santa Ana River, decades before East Valley Water District laid its first pipe, there was the North Fork Water Company. The year was 1885, the very beginning of the area's world-famous citrus industry. The problem? How to bring water down out of the hills.
Well, the citrus industry could not have developed without water. Property owners went together to bring Santa Ana River water to this area.
And they formed the company, North Fork Water Company. My granddad and my dad both served on the board, and then when they died, then I served on the board.
Margaret Cramwright and her daughter Lisa are part of the Cram family, one of North Fork's founding families that journeyed long and far.
My mother's side came on the Mayflower. The Crams ended up in Illinois.
When they came across the country, they were looking for a place that had water.
Figuring out a way to deliver Santa Ana River water was nothing short of monumental. The North Fork Ditch, as it's known, was built with old-fashioned grit and ingenuity.
Did it by dead reckoning, basically. They just looked at it and they knew water flowed downhill. They figured out how far up in the canyon they had to go.
It was a canal carved by livestock pulling plows, lined with rock and rubble.
Mom's got folklore stories about them guarding the ditch, with guns to keep people from stealing water in the night.
With that valuable supply secured, citrus growing took off. Growers bought shares of North Fork water delivered to their properties.
I can explain a little bit about the irrigation flumes.
Here, on his family's original McLean Ranch, fourth-generation citrus grower Charles Keel shows how North Fork water would make its way through weir boxes to these irrigation flumes.
They had slide gates in them. You could slide it up to open the outlet for the water to come out.
The water would then flow into furrows between rows of trees. Simple enough in theory, but in practice?
You have to get rid of the gophers, you have to get rid of the weeds.
This one apparently had some leaves in it.
And then there was the weather. On especially cold days, crews would light smudge pots, small heaters that used leftover oil to prevent frost on the fruit.
The smudge smoked some years. Oh, it was horrible. I remember I wore a pink Angora sweater that I just loved, but my mother said, you shouldn't wear that today, and I did, and it came back gray.
Taxing as it was, the citrus grown here was known as some of the finest in the world.
Without the North Fork water and so on, none of that would have been possible.
The North Fork Ditch is delivering water to this day, though much has been put into pipe. A handful of growers still use the old flumes and furrows, but many have switched over to micro sprinklers. East Valley Water District now manages the North Fork Water Company, and even as we look ahead to the future, we know the importance of preserving the past.
To know where it all started is important for the future.
It allowed my grandfather and my great-grandfather to come to this area and buy raw land and with their own hands turn it into something productive.